I'd like to call to order the school committee meeting of July 21st, 2025. If you are able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please, Ms. Go. No.
Elizabeth Coughlin?
Here.
Bethany Amaral?
Here.
Mary Beckwith? John Nunes?
Yep.
Chris Oliver?
Here.
This meeting is being recorded. It can be live streamed on the Dartmouth High School TV Media YouTube channel. It will be rebroadcast on DCTV Channel 9 on Wednesday and Thursday at 5 p.m., Friday at 6, Saturday at 8, and Sunday at 2 p.m. It will also be rebroadcast on DCTV Channel 18, Monday and Saturday at noon and Thursday at 3. We now welcome public comment from the audience on any topic in this evening's agenda. We have allowed 10 minutes for this. Please approach the mic and state your name and keep your comments to 3 minutes so others will have time to speak. I don't believe we have public comment today. So let's move on to approval of the minutes. Has everyone read the regular?
Motion to approve the regular session minutes of June 9th. Second.
Motion by Mr. Nunes, second by Mr. Oliver. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unanimously accepted. And the executive?
So move, Madam Chair, with the stipulation that they be held until the matter for which they were intended is complete.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Nunes, second by Mr. Oliver. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. So we have, again, unanimous approval of the minutes for June 9th of executive session. We have a short agenda today. We are going to start with the superintendent's update.
Great, thank you. So it's been a while since we've been together, so it's nice to see everybody and be here together. We have had a number of things happening in the Dartmouth Public Schools over the summer. So we're pleased to share with you that this past couple of weeks, we've had 65 of our students participating in summer school at Dartmouth High School through the Summer School Credit Recovery Program. I know we still have a few we're working closely with, and that really allows us to ensure that our students are staying on track for graduation. We want to make sure that they're recovering credits from coursework that they were challenged with meeting the requirements of during the regular school year. We have an English teacher, Jessie Grieve, who coordinated our summer school program, and we do believe that this is an important opportunity for our students to make up work and really to be supported in a way that we want to ensure that they are, in fact, staying on track and able to graduate with their class. Also worth mentioning is that it seems like now it was a lifetime ago, but really it wasn't, that back on June 16th and 17th, we did once again hold our two-day curriculum summit, which is really popular with our teachers here in Dartmouth. I have to say I had the opportunity to pop in a couple of times on them, and they were truly highly engaged. And this is where teams of teachers are coming together to work on curriculum development and revision. And again, I thank Katie Paveo and Dr. Thibault for, they really do coordinate and serve as the point people for making sure that this two-day opportunity for almost 90 teachers. And so you can see there's a great deal of interest across the entire district, representing the elementary level, the middle school level, and the high school level. We also had an ESY program, again, extended school year for our students. Again, and I thank, and I'm going to invite them up in just a second, as Laurie Denisio and Kim Redlawn. But we had 65 students attending a 5-week session, and we had another 90 students who attended a 4-week session. So you can see that there are a number of our young people who are still, in fact, quite connected with what's happening in school, even during the month of June and late June and throughout July. And I just will take a minute to thank the folks who run all of those things, and especially our facilities and custodial crew who are really here and helping to make sure that the environment is real. When you think about it, they have this is a high school, and we have elementary students here, we have middle school students here, so you really have just such widely different needs of students, and they do such a great job supporting us. But this does give me a chance to segue into inviting Laurie and Kim up to update you. They're going to talk about some significant changes, and I think really you'll be pleased to hear about some of the improvements that they've made to service delivery for a good number of our students. So just a reminder, this is part of our teaching and learning update. And you should have received something, I know it was earlier today, just giving you an overview of what they're going to talk about.
Hello.
We'll talk quick because we know the agenda is short and we don't want to elongate anything. As you're all well aware, the strategic plan calls for vertical and horizontal alignment, and that includes our special education programs as well. So today we're going to talk about some of the changes that we've made to sort of work to those efforts. But these changes didn't just begin this school year. About 3 years ago in 2022, when I was at Quinn, we started looking at our Pass and Pals programming to see what's working, what's not working, what can we do better, what's our vision for this program. We started with conversations with the Quinn staff and started making small changes that we could make within the building at that time. That began with creating a scheduled collaboration time for staff and just has slowly grown from there. When we hired an assistant director, we made part of that job to sort of oversee these substantially separate programmings as well as the out-of-district programming. So with onboarding Kim, this work accelerated greatly. This is her zone of genius. This is where her expertise lies, and so she has really taken this from a vision to reality in the last 2 years. And it's also expanded from beyond Quinn School to our middle school and our high school, again, with that vertical alignment. So over the course of the last 3 years, we've made small changes that have had a positive impact on student learning and staff collaboration. This year, we really focus on memorializing those changes with the new IEP so that they're actually happening, and they're supposed to be happening, and they're on paper now. Schedules were made around these changes. Protocols were made around these changes. So we just started putting things in writing to make them a little bit more uniform.
Okay, so we took the PALS program and we took the PASS program and we combined them. So now rather than having the two programs which were connected but separate, we now have one program that we're calling Compass. And we still have the essence of both of the programs, but really it is one umbrella program that houses all of the great stuff of both of those programs under one. So they are now, Compass is now vertically aligned pre-K, now that we have that substantially separate classroom at the pre-K through 12th grade, and then we have Atlas for our postgrads. And it really is allowing us to increase that programmatic cohesiveness, so that way as kids are leaving Cushman at PK, they're going to a classroom at Quinn for kindergarten that is continuing what they did at Cushman. And then when they leave Quinn, they're going to DMS, which is continuing what they did there, and then so on for the high school as well. So it really is just kind of keeping that seamless learning that they've been doing, but still having the same focus areas where we had PALS was really focusing on the life skills and PASS was focusing on social skills. We still have those focus areas. We're just being able to kind of ebb and flow and intertwine them all without saying, you know, one or the other. We're able to do all now, which is what's best for kids. So, to kind of highlight some of our upgrades, as we like to call them, at the elementary level, some of our upgrades are really memorializing, as Laurie was saying, the life skills and social skill lessons that we're doing within the classrooms, the increased collaboration now really with the new IEP of shared goal writing. So the classroom and speech are having combined goals. OT and PT are having combined goals, and skills are being worked across settings, not just in isolation in one area. So that's really helping kids generalize their learning and making faster progress or better progress. We have adaptive art music classes that are happening in that small group setting. So for students who are having a difficult time in that larger music class or art class, we have that smaller environment for them, where we're also for APE as well, but we're also bringing some models from their gen ed classroom into that smaller classroom with some reverse inclusion as well. Vertically aligned curriculum, so we worked a lot with the now Compass teachers on curriculum that is supplemental to what's going on in the general ed classrooms, so that way we can vertically align not only at Quinn, but it's pulling up into DMS here as well. And then also relevant staff training, so really what do they need as teachers and as ESPs and as related service staff, and providing that during the half-day trainings. And then upgrades in the middle and the high school. We worked really hard on some modified grading rubrics, so that way when the students are in the general ed settings, they're being graded on their effort and participation and how that aligns with the new IEP. So really capturing, you know, their efforts with working on an assignment versus just, you know, grading based off of what a typical grade might look like. Shifting some of our resources and hiring special education teachers to ensure that we do have the same alignment throughout Quinn Middle and High School for both a life skills focus and a social skills focus. And then increased use of learning partners. As you all know, up at the high school, they run an amazing learning partners program that has pulled down, and the middle school has done an amazing job of expanding it down there, and we're doing that down also at Quinn with the reverse inclusion, but really expanding that learning partners program as well. But we've also had some administration upgrades as well in terms of what we're doing behind the scenes. So obviously updating our program descriptions to be very transparent with all of the amazing things that we're doing. We've created some staffing rubrics to ensure that all students are being supported appropriately, and really looking at where and when students might need additional supports in certain settings, and then updating procedures to ensure appropriate placement decisions are being made. So again, before, when it was PASS and PALS, it was kind of, okay, you're in PASS, next year you're in PASS, the year after you're in PASS, or PALS, and the last 2 years and prior to, but we've really focused on getting the teachers together, really looking at each student, what is their focus area, you know, for this coming year, and which classroom setting would be the best to be able to you know, make sure that they are learning those skills and excelling in that area. And again, with Compass being that overall, we're able to place students in the most appropriate setting for them.
So what does this actually look like? The first two pictures on this side, that's adaptive music. So it's a lot of hands-on, it's a lot of small group, a lot of instruments, really tailored to the kids' ability level and also engagement. That middle picture there, that is a life skills lesson in our K-1 classroom, in Miss Mello's classroom. As you can see, it's all hands on deck. In that picture are RBTs, registered behavior technicians. We have occupational therapists, we have speech therapists, as well as our ESPs. And it's just everyone working together on a project. Again, we're working on, you know, the language piece of it, the fine motor piece of it, all sort of working together to create an outcome for these students. And it's an awesome time for collaboration for staff as well. The picture in the top corner with the beautiful blue sky, that is the the PE class, unified PE that's held here at the high school that predated us, and we're just sort of tacking it on to what we do, because that's an awesome setup here at the high school. And that bottom picture with the flower, that's also a life skills lesson. And our staff is so amazing that when we started these life skills lessons, they started reaching out to local stores. So that was all of those, the flour, the pot, the dirt, that was all materials donated by Home Depot. So we've found some really great community partners as we sort of expand our offerings at school. And I need to end with a huge shout out, because I can have the best ideas ever, but it takes people to really carry them out. So first of all, to our staff, who again, 3 years ago, we said, well, what if we try this? And they have just taken it and ran with it. Our ideas, and again, they take what we do and they make it happen, which is really the magic. Our students and families, you know, Kim attends most of these IEP meetings, and we talk about the IEPs look different now, right? There are less goals. The goals are more focused. And so everyone's been really accepting and actually really excited about that. The more functional their IEPs are, the better the outcomes for the students. Our district admin, again, I go to Katie Paveo and I say, excuse me, we need more art and music for for adapted music. And she says, okay, I'll fit it in the schedule. So it's awesome to have that support from that level. And our building admin, I can't tell you the number of uncomfortable conversations Kim and I have had to have when we sit down and say, okay, this is what we're going to do with your teachers. And also, we need more space in your building. And they have been awesome. They really see the need for this change in programming, and they are excited to make it happen in their building. So we are so grateful for all of those people, because they are really taking these ideas and making them a reality for our students. So before we change the program description on the website, we wanted to let you know that we are now going to call this Compass, and sort of this is the why behind all that. So if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to let Kim answer them.
Way to delegate.
Yeah, good job.
I would say a huge shout out goes out to you, both of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Kathleen?
I think you answered this, but ironically, the parent of a child who requires substantially separate services and has benefited greatly, there's always been flexibility. And so ironically, I always come to kind of worried when I hear sub-separate. And I think you spoke to this, but I just want to call it out for the public to make sure that I understand it. That, and let me start with, I love it. I love the vertical and the alignment. I love it, sort of like you know where you are. It might not be where you are in the future, but if it is where you need to be, there's like a path for you all the way up through the entirety of your education, if you need that. And just so that I understand, so you mentioned general ed and then the reverse inclusion, which I have admittedly makes me have like a little, I trust the two of you. I trust this. I do love a lot of this, and I'm excited for it. But I just want to make sure that there is still that individuality. I think there is, because you said
1,000%.
general ed, and then you said reverse inclusion. So I think there's the opportunity
that reverse
potentially
inclusion
for both.
term is a word, but really what we're trying to do is more meaningful inclusion, right? So what would happen before is that there'd be a number on the IEP. If you're in this classroom, you get 5 by 120 in the B grid of inclusion. And sometimes that works for some kids, and sometimes it doesn't work for other kids. So what we're trying to do is just be more meaningful about what that looks like. There are some students who do better in PE with their third grade class, they can participate, and there are other kids who just can't handle, it's too many kids, especially at Quinn when you're talking about 50 kids in the gym. So it is just a word, but I think meaningful inclusion is
It's like
really
an extra
the-
option, really. I mean, it's sort of,
Yeah.
It sounds very, like you're very meaningful in planning for that,
Yeah.
so thank you. And then the only other thing that I had a question about is, in the description, it said, adaptive skills include recreation opportunities under the adaptive physical ed umbrella. I just also want to make sure that again, back to the individuality. I remember my son years ago really doing well. He needed a one-to-one, but he was there early in the morning at a walking club at Quinn. So kids still would have access to other
If
opportunities
there was
for the
a
life
walking
of the
club at
school.
Quinn, yes.
Yeah, or any activity
Yes,
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
life of the school, and not just the adapted versions
No,
of.
no, this is
Okay.
just during that part.
That's it.
During the
This is great. Thank you.
Yeah, and even, so, not just at Quinn, but at the middle school, where they have the after-school clubs, things like that. Any of the students participate, we have many actually that participated in after-school clubs, and if they needed any staff assistance, then they would participate in that, and then if there was any at Quinn eventually, then that would happen
Yeah.
as well, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. Exciting.
Yep, Mr. Oliver?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think overall, I appreciate this description, and I appreciate just the combining of the programs. I think it makes a lot of sense, so kudos to both of you for putting this together. So just so I understand this correctly, so we have a total of 10 classrooms throughout the district?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, without counting Cushman.
Without,
Yeah, the
so
K to 12. That doesn't include.
that doesn't
preschool.
include preschool.
Yeah.
I think that's really it. I appreciate the great presentation, and I do honestly like just hearing about it first, and like we did with one of the other presentations you did, so certainly helpful for sure. I do have a question, if you don't mind, kind of outside of the realm of this presentation. Are there any other, besides the Compass program, and we have Atlas, right? Any other separate, sub-separate programs? Does Dartmouth run any therapeutic learning classrooms or anything like that?
So we can only do one thing at a time, Mr. Oliver.
Okay. Touche. Fair. I
we do not have-
honestly didn't know.
Yeah, we currently do not have any therapeutic learning classrooms. There is a classroom, the middle and high school have Step Up, which you can consider a therapeutic learning. It's not sub-separate. It is sort of that partial inclusion where kids can go there for a certain period or leave class if they need a break. And so that exists, but nothing at the elementary level.
Okay.
It's on the to-do list, but
So I look forward to seeing
Yeah.
the presentation. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so back to just a couple other things that I wanted to update you on. Kindergarten enrollment, the numbers continue to be updated. Currently, again, Jen, I have to, again, just shout out what a great job she does in getting kids registered and making sure all the appropriate paperwork is completed. Right now, we have 185 completed registrations. There are 15 still in the queue, so that means they've started, but they haven't quite completed yet, so those students won't be officially registered, but we expect to have at least another 15 students, which of course will bring us up to 200. I think last year we had 205, and looking 205 kindergartners. We are definitely paying attention, obviously, to enrollment and looking at some of the enrollment data that we had garnered from NESDEC when they came in and did the study. It's pretty close, and so we're going to continue to watch that very closely. Remember some of the decisions that you made last spring as we were considering budget implications were related to numbers, and there was talk about certainly class size. Right now, we think that class size at the kindergarten level looks really good. I mean, we're at between 17 to 20. We're watching the Potter closely, but at the same time, we're making decisions that we think at the end, once registration and kindergarten starts, that will have really reasonable, better than reasonable class size at the kindergarten level, which is obviously something that we strive for. I'll also mention, as far as kindergarten is concerned, that I'll do it under safe and family engagement, just because all three schools are planning events in August to invite families in, whether it's for popsicles and just play in the schoolyard, but and to meet teachers and to meet their administrators and just to get a feel for the building. And so that's something that I think has been in place in Dartmouth for a number of years. And I'm able to see some of the emails that are going out to families. And I can see that all three, Quinn, DeMello, and the Potter, have events planned for August. So the COLT retreat, we had our 2-day retreat. COLT, by the way, stands for Central Office Leadership Team. That's the 7 of us, and that's really an important time that I think that we have together as a team. This year we were at South Coast Collaborative in Swansea. They allowed us to use their space, and I thought that was really important for us, again, because it pulls us away from the day-to-day, and it allows us to really focus on paying attention to what our priorities are for the upcoming school year, and as also a way to celebrate the accomplishments that we've had to date, and just that collaboration is so important. And so we also use that time to plan for what's going to be upcoming, which is next week will be our principals retreat and our district leadership team retreat. So we have 3 days where we'll come together at UMass Dartmouth, and a lot of the planning for that happened over that 2-day central office leadership team retreat. I also was able to attend the ISTE conference. ISTE stands for National Society of Technology. Thank you, Mr. Galashaw. And the ASCD conference. Mr. Galashaw totally encouraged me to go this year because it was a joint conference between the curriculum folks and the technology folks. And if ever you could see worlds colliding, it certainly is now. You could certainly predict that it's been happening, as Mr. Oliver sits here at the table and knows that that's certainly part of his world as well. But you can no longer separate them because technology is in the classroom. It's what our students and teachers are utilizing to provide. And I know Mr. Galashaw is just chomping. Yeah, it's so exciting. But we were joined by Liz Vosi and Sandra Chica, 2 of our instructional technology coaches. And you can't you can't in any way, I think, underestimate the importance of those instructional technology coaching positions. So I always appreciate having the opportunity to talk about it here at the school committee, because those are the positions that you're supporting every year in the budget, and those positions are truly critical in supporting our educators, who are in turn supporting our students in not only the use of the hardware, because the hardware really now has become sort of the afterthought. It's the instructional not just software, but instructional technology that we need to be focused on and be supporting our educators in using that effectively. Long gone are computer labs. I hate to date myself, but I was a teacher when there were computer labs in schools, and we brought our class there and willingly gave up our students to the technology lab manager, and that is just not the case anymore. All of our teachers have to have a certain level of expertise in the utilization and understanding of how to use technology to support teaching and learning. So AI, you'll be hearing more about it. Chairperson Coughlin and I met when we were planning this agenda, and she actually brought up having some sort of presentation this fall on where we are with AI and where we are in developing policy that supports the school department's use of it. So you'll be hearing more about that. Last week, Katie Ross and I attended the MASS conference. It was excellent, and we attended sessions that are really true this year, at least for me, and from the conversations that I had with Katie and Ross, were particularly relevant to the work that we're doing in the district. And one in particular I'd mention is leading strategically we just actually purchased these Leading Strategically books by Elizabeth City and Rachel Curtis out of Harvard, and they were there presenting. So mostly Katie and I think we were super nerds, and we were so excited, and we had the books with us, so we got them autographed. But the session was really excellent, and what we're committed to is using what we learned and using what's part of sort of the teachings in that book to help to shape the work that we're doing with our school leaders at the district level. So we also received an update on some of the funding challenges resulting from decisions made at the federal level, which could affect our funding levels. And we talked about whether or not to update you on that, and we thought we need to put it off because honestly, the picture just isn't clear enough for us yet. So we're obviously monitoring what's going on very closely, and we hope to have a much clearer picture to share with you in August. But honestly, we just don't know enough right now, and I saw there was a change just today to federal funding that was related to after-school and summer programming that doesn't actually impact us right now. I'd also mentioned to you that we had 3 faculty members, Gary Lauer, Ann Brown, and Stephanie Santos, our new associate principal here at the high school. I had mentioned that they were attending a math conference. They did. That was sponsored by Carnegie. We look forward to hearing more from them about their experiences, but the initial feedback that I've gotten has been that it was a very positive experience. If you remember, the conference is sponsored by Carnegie Learning. Carnegie is sponsored by, it's not their conference, they sponsor it, and it's really just obviously centered around mathematical practice, and from what I understand, it was a very positive experience for them, and so I hope to share more about that. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Kiley because I know he has some updates because guess what? There's a lot going on in the world of facilities and budget. Nothing stops.
Dr. Sig McGuire. So we were fortunate to hear from the MSBA that our statement of interest is one of 96 statement of interest that they're going to come and take a look at for the high school roof and window project that we submitted. So they are scheduling a visit in August, and on Wednesday we're going to have a Zoom call with them to sort of talk about what that would entail and what information they need from us. We've already, along with the statement of interest, am I not on the microphone? Okay, sure. Okay, is that better? Okay. So, along with the statement of interest, we had provided them information regarding an engineering report that we had done, give them a lot of detail in terms of what the deficiencies are. And like I've said before, it doesn't take a whole lot to identify deficiencies. You can just look up right now and see the stains on the roof, on the ceiling tiles, and a lot of issues we've had through the years are still there and need to be addressed. So our hope is that we rank somewhere on their list and are selected. But we'll keep you posted and find out what their stance is. They have a board meeting on October 29th, and my understanding is that's when they're going to decide what projects to recommend to move forward. So we've got a while before we'll find out, but with any luck, we'll be on their list.
Mr. Kiley?
Yes.
Question around, if you may not know this, but how many projects do they typically fund, or is there a pot of money? I assume.
It really depends on the scope of each project. So it's hard to say. They only have so much money,
right,
and they definitely do not have enough money to fund 96 projects.
Right.
So last year, 75 projects. Were submitted a statement of interest for 75 projects, and I believe they funded in the 20 range. Okay. But again, it's all scope. Like in terms of an accelerated repair project, this is a big one. While Dartmouth High School isn't one of the bigger high schools in the state, it is a sizable building that if the windows are included as part of the scope, which we included in our application, it would be a pretty lengthy, complicated, expensive project, as compared to some of the others, like replacing an elementary school roof or something like that. So it really depends how
Okay.
many of those
I was
they
just
have.
curious.
Yeah, and they won't give us any indication at this point, but at least they'll be able to see what we, certainly identified need that we have,
The condition.
and we'll be on a list somewhere. So if it's not this year, we'll continue to pursue it.
All right.
Also in facilities, we have quite a bit of work going on in the buildings in the summer. Besides the traditional, cleaning of the buildings and routine maintenance projects that we have the fire alarm replacement at the DeMello School and the Potter School that are going great, ahead of schedule. The Potter School is done with all of the rough work and installation of the devices and is at the point where they'll be testing that system soon. The old system is still operational at the moment and is what we're relying on, but pretty soon that'll be done, and they're working on the DeMello School system now, and we're shooting for second week in August to be done, tested, all wrapped up. So that's going very well. We're replacing the lighting and rigging in the auditorium here. That was part of an ARPA-funded project that the town allocated funds for. So we're doing that this summer. Most of the work is being done by our own maintenance staff. So it's a big project, and there's. Walked right by one of the big lifts that we're using to access all the intricate areas of lighting and the ceiling in the auditorium. So that's really kind of just beginning that project, but we hope to have that all set for the start of school. We're creating an ADA bathroom at the Quinn School. So there previously was not an officially compliant ADA bathroom at the Quinn School, so that's being completed by our in-house maintenance team. Grease trap replacement, HVAC repairs, kitchen renovations. So although we didn't receive a whole lot of money in terms of the capital improvement plan funding from town meeting, we're still managing to cobble together some projects to try and improve the facilities. So we're working on that. We're also going to be repairing the sound system at the stadium. So we're hoping to have that equipment all in place, installed for the start of football season and sports season in the fall. So
Can we just put it under lock and key?
yeah. Well, we're going to have a different setup for sure.
Okay.
Than what we
Thank
had.
you.
Yeah. So that's what we're working on in facilities.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Share a microphone. Okay, so I also wanted to update you as to how we're doing with staffing. I am pleased to share that I think that we're near complete. We still have a few key positions, but to be filled. We still have an open special education position at the high school and an ESP LPN for the Atlas program. At the middle school, we still have an ESP that we're working on filling. At the Quinn, we do have one special education teaching position. It's a one-year position. We have a teacher who chose to take parental leave for the year, and so we're looking to fill that position. At the Potter, we are looking to fill a literacy coach position, and the interviews for that are Wednesday. And then DeMello, we have an ESP/LPN, and the Cushman, one ESP. So we still have a good handful of positions, but we do feel really confident and excited to be starting the year with nearly a full complement of our teaching positions filled. And as always, I think at every school committee meeting, I say, don't forget substitutes and ESP positions. So And you heard there are a couple of key positions, again, that we're still looking to fill. I already talked about family and community engagement, again, about the incoming kindergartners. So for incoming kindergarten families, if you haven't heard anything yet, you should be soon. And I just would give you a quick update under safe and supportive schools. And if Mr. Kiley wants to chime in, even though we have to share a microphone a little bit, on the hall passes, because he sat in on a couple of meetings with the middle and high school principals, so I'd just like him to just mention that.
So, for the upcoming school year, we're going to have in place an electronic hall pass system, which is kind of a fairly modern development in how we allow students to leave classrooms and track their frequency of leaving the classroom during class time. So we're in the process of procuring that, and we'll have it in place at the high school and the middle school next year.
Very good.
Very good.
And so I think today, I mean, just today we met with what's our new opioid? I'm sorry, it's Rachel. Oh, DeSalvo, and we also met with Heidi, and we talked about ways where that opioid money can help to support our schools. This has been an ongoing conversation. It's not brand new, but there are ways where, we're expanding vape detectors at the use of vape detectors at the high school, and we're actually going to be using a more advanced model that we think will be more effective, and that our administrators will find that not only are they easier to use, but they're easier to respond to. And part of the conversations that we had, by the way, are, and we said this before, that the vape detectors are certainly meant to be used as a deterrent, number one, not punitively, but there are consequences for use for vaping in schools. So we just need to be clear about that. And at the same time, what our true intent here is to use vape detectors as a deterrent, and then if needed to offer the kind of support and intervention that needs to happen to actually deter our students from engaging in vaping, which is obviously unhealthy for them. The other thing that we talked about was adding additional after-school programs, and so we're hopeful that we'll be able to come to you at some point this year and talk about how we're utilizing that funding to help support additional opportunities for our students to participate in after-school programs. And we are also happy that the board is supporting us, to the select board meaning, to add some additional security personnel here at the high school. Am I missing? Oh, also the Wayfinder curriculum, which is a social emotional learning curriculum that we've already used, that we've already committed to, that we'll be utilizing this fall at the high school level. And then finally, I just mentioned that we will be introducing very soon a new SRO at the elementary level. We look forward to, I know that Mr. Kiley has talked with the chief, and that he has a couple of people, I think, who are going through the training process, and we'll look forward to hearing from them. But we, again, thank the police department for continuing to support us with that position and those positions. And so that's all I have.
That's a lot. Thank you very much. I don't have as much. We all got a letter from the select board inviting us to a meeting. It was late today, so if you haven't looked at your emails, then do. We've been invited to attend the August 11th select board meeting, which is at 6:30. You're not here. Okay. Do you, either of you know if you're open for attending?
You gotta be kidding me, right?
Or we'll just
I should
try.
Yeah, I should be available.
That's
I have
all.
that week off. My son has a week off, but the Washington
Sorry.
County Fair doesn't start till Wednesday, so.
Okay.
I might be free that Monday
will not be
night.
here for that.
Okay, all right, that's fine. We will represent. And if you have anything that, it's about goal and role sharing and how we work together. So if you have any comments that you want us to move towards them, please let us know.
Beautiful.
We'll do that, thank you.
Okay. And also reminding everyone of our retreat August 18th for goals of the coming year. And speaking of goals in the coming year, I think later this week or next week, we will get from the superintendent evidence of her goals of the past year.
Yes, thank you. You can expect to have the evidence actually as early as tomorrow, since it's ready to be sent out to you. So much like, not much exactly like last year. If you remember, I sent you a PowerPoint and attached, you had links to each piece of evidence for each of the goals and then the standards. So it'll be the exact same format. I just want to say that this year I did make sure, with help from my colleagues, that every single link opened.
Helpful. Very helpful.
Very helpful. So we did go through it, and so you should all be able to access all of the evidence in there. And if you remember, it's the goals that I presented to you in the fall, and the indicators related to the standards. So you'll get those tomorrow.
Terrific.
Perfect.
Thank you. And I do not have anything else. Kathleen, would you like to?
I just wanted to, since it's the first time we've met this summer, sort of share some condolences for the tragic passing of Mr. Joseph, and really commend the high school and the leadership. I'm sure everyone had a part in it, in offering time and hours for students who might need extra support. I received a lot of emails about that, and so I thought that was fantastic. And again, just the condolences to the family.
Yes, yeah, thank you. I do want to say the high school folks up here really came together and did a tremendous job supporting the family and obviously the student body here. A student that we're, very sad, obviously, of how tragic his loss was.
Good.
Okay. All right. So our next regular meeting of the school committee is scheduled for Monday, August 25th, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. here in the Dartmouth High School Library Media Center. And I would like a motion to move to executive session pursuant to 30A21A3 to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining, where an open meeting would have a detrimental effect on the school committee's bargaining position for Dartmouth Educators Association and AFSCME, and not to return to open session.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Nude, second by Ms. Amaral.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Yes.
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 Thank you. Have a
Nicely
great
off your
summer.
tongue.
We are adjourned.
Yeah. That just rolled right off. That was perfect.